We're back in the shack.
Oh.
My flow and the whatever you said the last two times. I don't remember.
Hey. Oasis. Faces.
Wanna be in different places. We can't even hear you, bro.
Y'all need to listen to Nicki Minaj, the queen of rap.
Oh.
And then you'll get better.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody.
Stupid hoe. Is that the one? I'll start there. Start there.
I get it cracking like a bad bag.
Welcome everybody back to Successfully Unsigned. I am one of your hosts, DShack. With me is
DJ Patty G
and
DJ Overheat.
And today on our podcast about providing information for success. What is our catchphrase again? Patrick forgot it last time. I'm forgetting it this time.
Professional advice from unprofessionals.
Thanks. Teamwork again. Don't forget the motto of your podcast.
Yeah.
But here we are back in Studio Shack, and tonight we want to talk to you about the concept, the question: is music for you? So
it's a deep one.
What does that mean? What does it mean? Is music for you? We were talking about this earlier before we started recording, and it's one of those questions that every artist has to encounter and has to face at some point in their career.
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're doing for you? Do you need to continue on this path, or do you need to find something else?
But you know what's for us? Show and yell first.
You're right. Let's show and yell.
I was like, hold up. Don't
Dale,
get too deep.
You're
Don't get
banned
too deep.
from intros now. You're banned.
Oh my goodness.
You're gone.
Hey, I was on one track.
Gone.
My mind was on one track. When I asked y'all what it was about, I forgot about everything else.
Oh my goodness.
So, show and
this
yell.
early stage dementia is cracking me up tonight.
I think it's more than early stage, man.
Yeah.
I do want to say these boys were smart, and well, we're at Dale's house, so he already could change clothes. But David brought a change of clothes, but I am exposing us. We're recording.
We're doing more than one episode on a single night?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't have anything change into, and I'm still holding lightning. Go MTSU. I love school spirit. No, I don't. This is literally the only school merch I bought.
I would not have changed if you've exposed us now.
Well, they're gonna see that I'm wearing.
I'm in a shirt that's gonna make me burn up in the next hour.
I'd rather them know that we're exposed and doing 2 episodes in one than them think that I am an outfit repeater.
Oh, gosh.
Lizzie McGuire, you are an outfit repeater.
Oh. God.
You know, this is how we expose the entire music industry right here.
Yeah.
Everything happens in shady back rooms.
Yeah.
All in one night.
Yeah. This episode is music for you. The next one is podcasting for us.
Yes.
That's the next one is for us.
We need to do a podcast on how to.
We're gonna go to some conferences and try to learn a few things.
And by we mean Dale.
Well, speaking of shady back rooms, we posted a TikTok of when we were in here, and someone saw these string of lights, and they go, "Are those ants going up your wall?"
No.
Yes.
For real?
And I said, "Yeah, Dale's just really dirty."
Yo, what?
He straight up thought I did.
I saw that. That was good.
I eventually was like, okay, no, just kidding. They're just a string of lights. So you need to probably turn these on or something.
Well, I can't. It broke.
You don't have batteries?
No. The spring inside where the batteries go broke off.
That's what you get for going cheap. So yes, these are ants, everyone. Sorry, Dale is just a little messy.
If you know me, you would know I hate ants.
He does hate ants.
I don't like ants.
Yeah.
He hates ants and aunties.
I like aunties, but I hate ants.
Hey man,
Okay,
I
we're moving on.
just killed a ton of them in my house. We put a bunch of ant traps out, and it's like one of those liquid ones where they go in it.
Ew.
Thousands of dead ants
That's
just
disgusting.
on my windowsill.
And
It's
why?
insane.
Why did you let us go to your house?
Because
I mean, we love you, but
I was hoping that they would. I don't know.
I said we.
Dale
I
just
said
used the
we.
L word in on a podcast. That is shocking.
The L word.
I'm trying to be
He
more.
does not say love.
I do, and I'm just very specific when I use it. But I'm trying to be more vocally expressive and more verbally affirmative in this coming up next half of the year. I'm trying to make some changes in my life, and that's one of those things. I'm trying.
Glad that
it's not
after
easy.
We're 4
it's
years
not
into
easy.
our friendship.
Dude, I swear, sometimes you are so smart. You're like one of the smartest guys I know, but sometimes it sounds like you've just learned how to talk. Like you've just learned how to string a sentence.
No,
true.
I'm just very careful in the way I word.
That's so
things.
true. No.
It takes time for my
Verbally
brain.
expressive and verbally aware of the things showing you. Sorry.
Thank you.
Dale, what's your item?
My item. I don't know that I yelled it on the last episode.
I don't know.
I don't know. My item is dun dun dun. It is a practice mixer.
Why are y'all not yelling?
It's a practice mixer. Why did that sound like Shaggy?
Sound
Yeah.
like Shaggy.
Sound like Shaggy. Yeah, so it is a practice mixing console, primarily with the concept, or not the concept, with the purpose for like theater applications, which I is one of the realms in which I work, doing theater sound and lights. And in this, it's set up. I mean, it's just literally just a piece of wood with a laminate front and faders, just that slide up and down in the wood. And it's there so you can read through your script. If you don't have the console with you and you don't have the actors with you, you can read through it and mix like, okay, I know this character's coming up here. Okay, then they enter, but then this other one exits, and then you have all these groups that enter, right? You can go through the entire play on your own with your script without needing the actual console, without needing, any of the actors, without needing the theater, all that kind of stuff. You can sit down and go through the entire show this way. And this was given to me actually just about a month ago by a friend of mine named Jamie. He had one of these, and he's like, "Hey, I have this." He's like, "It's still new in the box. Haven't used it. Would you like it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I do sound for sound and stuff for theater. So I am looking forward to using it and kind of practicing with it, and especially like when I get into doing some small teaching with children that come through wanting to learn about tech. I can give those kids this to learn a few things.
Can I play with it?
Yeah, it's very tactile. It's fun.
I've been wanting to.
Yeah,
I
push
feel
those
like
buttons.
I feel like a baby on an iPad.
Yeah, it looks like a speak and spell or something.
Like this
something
is the perfect. This like Dale's future child will play with this.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Like baby audio engineer.
Yes, baby.
Baby Dale will be over there on the.
It's like, Daddy, is this pre-fader or post-fader?
Oh
And
my
he's
goodness.
like, put it down, son. What would his
is so
son's name?
fun.
What would
Oh.
his son's name be? It'd be something
I don't know.
like Brock or something.
Oh.
Brock.
Brock?
I'm kidding.
It'd
He's
probably be
not
something
bad.
like.
He's not the first gym leader that I'm about to go battling Pokemon.
He'd probably be like I don't know.
It'd be like
He'd be
Scale.
named
It
after
would
like
just
some sort
rhyme
of
with Dale.
plant or something.
yeah. B. Oh wow.
Come here, grassroot.
Oh jeez.
What? Grassroots?
I don't know.
That
No, he'll just name him Shaq. It is like
No.
Shack.
Shaq.
Oh my god, it's like Jack.
Shack Shack.
Jack Shack.
No,
Please don't name your kid Jack Shack.
Is his name Jack? I think his name is Jack. So so there's another band that I work with, and I go around doing live sound for events with them.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this at the time, but their current sound guy I say the current sound guy, the guy that was currently doing sound the first day I went and kind of met all of them was named, I'm pretty sure it was Jack. And I found out months later after working with this band that everyone just assumed I was related to him because his last name is also Shackelford. And I was like, I have no idea. They're like, so
Jack,
you're
Jack,
related to
Jack,
Jack,
Jack.
right? And I'm like, who's Jack? I met this guy once, like months ago.
It'd be
I'm like,
perfect if his name was Joe and they got you with the Joe Mama.
honestly, yeah.
Be like, who's Joe? It'd be Joe Mama.
But yeah, no,
Not
I don't
again.
know. I think his name was Jack. It might have been
Yeah.
Jack.
Should have played the crickets
Might have
on
been
that
Jake.
one. What's
What?
your item? Oh wait, do you have one?
Yeah, here.
Oh my god.
My item is
Oh.
my left shoe. My left shoe.
Your left shoe.
Yo.
I don't have an item if you can't tell, but this is my item for now. It's a nice shoe. I'm not sure what brand it is, but it's really nice. The shoelaces are broken because my dogs chewed them. There's probably some bird poop or dog poop on the bottom of
They
this
look a little crusty. I ain't gonna
somewhere.
lie.
Yeah, they're not great. But
Crusty,
yeah,
musty, and dusty.
that's my item. And that's all I have to say about that.
Do you want another item? I have a room full of stuff
No,
I can give you.
I have another one.
Another shoe, I know. But
Yeah, my right shoe. This one is pretty much.
Yell it.
I don't even. My right shoe. And so this one.
why did you swirl it around like it?
So they
like
could
it was
see the
magic?
full thing.
You're like,
Oh God, it stinks too. I'm sorry, guys. Again, we've got. Oh, this is a nice little touch here. I think that's dog poop right there, or maybe it's just mud. I don't know.
So gross.
But
Crusty,
it's
dusty,
not
and
dog
musty.
poop. But I don't know. But yeah, that's my item, and yeah.
You could probably sell that though.
Oh yeah.
If y'all want to buy merch from DJ Overheat,
Yeah. I'll just give you like a little bit of the dog poop and put it in a bag. And
Ew.
put it on eBay.
Okay, no, stop.
Which dog is it though? That's the question.
Okay, are we ready for mine?
Yes.
Victorious dolls.
What?
Okay, so last episode we had Margot Robbie, Barbie movie. Now these are not Barbies; these are dolls. Okay, they are not associated with
Testy.
Barbie, possibly Mattel. I'm not sure, but I believe they're Hasbro. So, oh wait, actually I can see.
Fisher Price.
Oh no, I don't even think they're associated with Hasbro. That's how you know these are cheaply made. So, Victorious dolls. This is Tori Vega. This is Trina, her sister. Trina was so iconic. This one even has the Fazzini boots. If you watch Victorious, you know what that is. This is Tori from the first episode where she sings Make It Shine. She actually does sing, but I think it's broken. So, fun story. I had... The Victorious dolls are not easy to come by. The Ariana Grande doll, the cat doll, will easily sell for $300 to $600.
What?
Yes, because Ariana Grande is like such a big thing. Oh, never mind. And then even the Liz Gillies one is pretty expensive. So they're hard to come by. The Tori ones are a lot easier, but the Trina one is hard to come by. So let me see if I can get her to sing. Come on.
Judo chop.
You gotta like break her arm to get her to.
It's not okay. It's not wanting to work. Wait.
Why do all of your dolls make noises?
Not all of them, just some of them. Like the Hannah Montana one does. But it's because they're singing shows. Hello. Anyway.
Oh, my bad.
So, I know everyone's a hater on Tori. I think we all sing, but I like Tori.
Wait, does she not sing for real?
No, it needs new batteries. Okay, so...
Wait, try it again. Try it again.
Are you trying to...
Nice.
Oh my goodness. I was like, it's not going to work. Okay,
Sorry.
so I had posted on TikTok, someone asked me, so I got the Lindsay Lohan doll, which y'all have seen, and someone asked, I said it's one of my grail items, which for collectors, that means, an item that you really want. And someone asked, what are your other grail items? I said, the Victorious dolls. So someone asked, and I said, the Victorious dolls. And some random person who just found my video named Jordan commented and was like, I have a Trina and Tori doll. You can have them.
Oh, I remember this story. It was super sketch.
A little bit. And I was like, oh, how much? She's like, no, you can just have them. And I was thinking he needed, he lived, I don't know, somewhere else. And so... Here's some internet safety, kids. Don't do what I do. I sent him my address. I sent a stranger on TikTok my address. And then he's like, oh, no, I saw your video on this place in Nashville. I live in Nashville. And I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, so we can just, meet up and I can give them to you. And I was like, okay. So I was like, well, hopefully he doesn't me, you know, in the middle of the night.
Just throw you in a van.
So it was months later. He was really nice. I met him in a parking lot at a mall. There was plenty of people around, so nothing super sketchy. But he literally just gave me these dolls, which this one, like I said, this one probably goes for about $20. But Trina, she is not easy to come by, okay? She probably can cost upwards of $100, $150. I get her. Immediately broke her leg off on accident. which is very upsetting. But it's fine. I taped it. It should be fine. Well, I don't know if you probably can't really see, but actually, Dale, can you like hold up her leg to the camera, please? Where you see the marking? Thank you. Okay, so if you see, they're autographed, because this one has it too, with an M and a B. That stands for Matt Bennett. So Matt Bennett, who played Robbie on Victorious, does this tour where he will like do a DJ show of like Nickelodeon songs, Disney Channel songs, all kinds of songs, all from like specifically from your childhood. And I went to it with my friend Jordan a couple months ago, and I brought these dolls because I was like, I want him to see them because he was on the show with these people, and he saw them. And so he was like, come up here, come up. Well, I didn't go on the stage, but like I went up toward it and I handed them to him. And then he was like, are these for me? And I was like, can you just sign them? And I felt bad because I don't want him to think Matt Bennett. I still have them. I'm not going to sell them, obviously. But I didn't want him to think I was going to sell them. But at the same time, I'm like I said, these dolls are, especially the Trina one. I was like, it's not easy to come by. Don't be taking my Trina doll, Matt Bennett. Anyway, so he signed them. That's really cool. And I'm seeing Matt Bennett again this Friday. So I thought this was a relevant time because I'm going to the DJ show again. I don't think I'm going to bring these because they were kind of a hassle to carry around. But when I posted a TikTok and I posted a picture of like the dolls at the show and everything. The girl who plays Trina, Daniela Monet, saw it and commented a skull emoji on my Instagram post because she thought it was funny that I have a doll of her. So
she probably thought it was creepy.
Right. Yeah.
Well, she knows that this doll exists. She probably has one.
Think people have dolls of themselves?
You best believe that one day when I have my own doll, I will have multiple of myself.
There'd be so many.
My goal is doll of myself, and I also want a licensed costume of myself at like Halloween stores, but also I want knockoff Halloween costumes.
Okay, I'm with you on that. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like a bunch of little kids running around like Baby Patrick?
Oh my gosh.
But knockoff Baby Patrick?
Oh yeah.
So
it'd be like a Michael Myers mask, but it'd be his like face.
Poorly made synthetic
over
mask.
His face.
Anyway, so I love Victorious. It's genuinely, I'm so serious. Like I get such a nostalgic feel for it when I watch it. Like it brings me such happy memories, and it's genuinely so funny, and it's just one of my favorite shows. And I don't know, I just love it so much, and so I'm happy to at least own a couple of the dolls. If anyone is looking to get rid of a Liz Gillies or Ariana Grande one, please send it my way. I will give you a whole $50 for each one, even.
Wow, you heard it straight from him.
Straight and from Matt Bennett, thank you. And Daniela Monet, thank you.
And with that concludes our show and yell.
That concludes the show.
That's
what
it.
I'm saying.
This is our finale episode.
Yeah.
You know, we were ending on that.
This is our last day on YouTube. See you guys.
Yeah. No, but we will see you right back right after this break. Have you been enjoying Successfully Unsigned? Then check out all of our other content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and everywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget about our exclusive artist interviews and performances right here with Successfully Unsigned. Join us and like, comment, follow, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and tell us what your thoughts are about being an artist in the music industry. Welcome back, everybody. We see you again. Do you see us?
See how soft he does it? He's not very good at it.
It's like peekaboo.
Screaming at us.
It's like, we see you, you see us.
I hope you see us.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. We are going to get into our topic of the night, which is, as Dale so lovely put at the beginning.
And tried to start immediately.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was excited for the topic.
Show works.
I don't know
why,
how the show
because you're
works.
not cut out to be a singer?
You're right.
Wow.
You're right. You know, this is
We're just going to fight with each other.
This is one of the topics. This is one of the topics that that I actually did have to personally wrestle with.
Yeah.
Right. So when I first went to college, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do specifically. I knew I wanted to be involved in music. I loved songwriting. I loved playing music, performing, all of that. Absolutely great. However, one of the questions that came up to me, and I didn't think it in these specific terms, like we mentioned earlier, but the question that I had was, can I do this? Am I enough for this? Is this something I can make as a lifestyle, as an artist? And you shake your head, Patrick, but that's the answer I came to. I love writing music. I love playing music. But being an artist, that's a lot. That is a lot to go through. And it's a big commitment if you want to try to make a living doing that. It's not impossible. It's not something that you should just throw away, I can't do that. But it is something that you do need to seriously consider. And for me, I came to the conclusion that that was not where I was going to go for my career. Something I was going to continue doing. I'm going to continue and have continued writing songs. And, I've had some really great experiences and really great opportunities writing and being an artist. However, for me, what I wanted to do was more of the engineering and production route.
Yeah.
And that's more, for me, more of a stable and more of a consistent career path. And so I chased that route. I chased that route down.
Where's the rat?
Right there.
Oh, okay. That was good. I'll give you that one.
No, but that for me, for me, that's what I had to do. Right. I wrestled with that question. I specifically remember laying in bed, staring at a blank ceiling in my dorm room, like, okay, at this point, I know, like, making a living and living the life of an artist, not what I want, not where I'm going to be. And do I have what it takes? Maybe not, because that's a hard lifestyle. But what am I going to do instead? I want to be there in music. I want to be doing this. And I remember laying there in my bed looking up at my ceiling like, I really like recording the stuff that I write. Why don't I record other people? And so for me, that was my personal experience wrestling with that very question.
Yeah.
And I came down on the side of, it's not for me. So is being an artist for you? Something you have to think about.
I'm looking you in the eyes right now. It's not.
So encouraging for a show about
Hey, but
being an
I mean,
artist.
he says that, but some people need that.
That's true.
Some people need to be sat down, and they need to be kind of, you need to approach it like that, and just be realistic about it, and be like, this isn't what it's portrayed to be.
Just
And
kidding.
there's
Follow
no-
your
At
dreams.
all.
And there's nothing wrong. Let me phrase it this way. There's nothing wrong with being an artist, and there's nothing wrong with living and chasing your life and your career to be an artist. But those don't have to be the same thing. You can continue being an artist, and you can continue having fun, writing music, playing music, going around town, playing at different venues. You can continue or chase that lifestyle, and that's not the same lifestyle as trying to chase your life to be a big top 40 artist that tours the world and makes that kind of lifestyle. Those are two different things. Neither one of them are wrong to go after, but you just have to know what your goals are and what you're trying to do with it. Is it more of just a side thing and it's your hobby, it's your way to relieve stress? Is it just your way to have fun at the end of the day? Or is it something that you want to seriously consider making your living and your primary income from? Those are two different things. And that's the question I think that we're really talking about. Because maybe you do need to sit down and realize, oh, yeah, I can't write to save my life. Maybe you do need to realize that. There's plenty of songs I've been like, ooh, I should not have ever wrote this. But for you do have to cross that threshold at some point. So how do you approach that? When do you approach that?
Patrick, your thoughts first. I have a lot of thoughts.
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not an artist, so I don't necessarily have the same thoughts, but I do have those thoughts about, like, my personal career aspirations, and, like, I'm still in a creative field, in design, and I there are times where I'm like, okay, well, this is something that, like, eventually I want to do my own business, but there are other things where, like, we've even talked about, like, this podcast, where if it were to, ever be launching, where I'm like, I would be willing to do something like this full time and doing design on the side. And so, and like, I haven't necessarily had the full experience with design to where I know, like, okay, like I could really, make a full career out of this. Design is also probably it's a lot easier to become a designer than it is to, become a huge, or even a probably grade C singer. Not grade C. You know what I'm trying to say. What are those called? Someone who like has a decent following but isn't like, a huge pop star.
A C-list?
Yeah, C-list. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't know what you were saying.
He did?
He was chasing a rat. Forgive him.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, but I think, I don't know. I mean, I think honestly, this goes for most careers, that you're going to have to sit down and be like, okay, is this something that I genuinely can do? Is this something that I genuinely can make money on? Is this something that I am willing to put in my blood, sweat, and tears? Because any long-time career is going to be hard. Any of them. But I mean, like, even one where there's like a pretty traditional route of like, okay, I need to go to school for this amount of years and do this, this, and this, like a lot of jobs in healthcare. But if you're not passionate about nursing or whatever it is, you're not going to make it, because that is hard. That is really hard to do. And if you're not passionate about it, or you just don't think you're cut out for it, then you need to figure something else out. Just because there are aspects of it that you like, that doesn't mean you have to completely cut it from your life. But, so I would say look at it the same way you would with any career, and look at with music, but understand that music has its own separate, just like any other job, things about it that are going to make it harder, because it's such a huge, hard industry.
Yeah. Agreed. I think a lot of people don't understand the work ethic, but I think a lot of people's issue is they run into the problem of like, they're not sure how talented they are. And let me explain what I mean. You have a select group of folks who grow up in a town, and they play their music for their friends or their family or their boyfriend or their grandparents. And everyone coddles and says, this is great. And even maybe a music teacher. It's like, this is pretty good. And then they move to somewhere else, or they get into a new environment, and then they start to realize maybe it's not as good as they thought. Mm-hmm. What do you do in that place, right? Like, that place, that's a hard place.
That is a hard place
to be. It's like, this is not what I thought that it was. So I came to that point in college where I had some stuff recorded, and I was like, is the talent there? Because at that point, I'd been studying music for 5-6 years. I've been playing since I was 11, and then I started like studying right before high school into college. And so I said, okay, how can I alleviate this? I need to get unbiased opinions about my music. And so, good people to go to, your professors. Your professors in, like, if you're in the music field, like, somebody that can be objective about the craft and about what they're hearing. So I went to a lot of my music professors, and I told them straight up, I was like, be honest. Is this something that you could hear on the radio? Is this something that could be something here? And I explained the situation. I explained how I was feeling. A lot of those professors said, yes, it could. But the production value needs to come up, may need to invest in some vocal lessons. Like, just being straight up with me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I have never respected anyone more in my life than this one professor I had, who I think he taught like audio fundamentals. He straight up was just like, dude, this has a lot of potential, but he was just like, you need to work on your power and your vocals. And so I heard that, and then I started to kind of realize once you see it through that lens, you can start to improve in a certain way, but you also know the value commercially of what you're doing. Once you go to those people and get their opinions, also playing open mics, getting the practice, right? But then you also have to confront the work ethic part of it.
Yes.
Which is, when we've kind of touched on it, but you're not going to make a lot of money at first. You're just not, right? So confront that and understand that what you're doing is an extension of what you love. It's not necessarily... Building a career should be something that's like, oh, it's a side effect of doing what you love off of it. And like, you should want that. You should obviously want the career and everything that comes with it. But you should approach it as, this is something that I'm so passionate about doing and I can't live without doing it. And not it just as like, it's like you have to be around it and you have to be immersed in it. Sometimes I hate so much, and this is kind of getting kind of personal about myself. I hate so much that I love music. Like, I hate that I love it so much because I can't get away from it. I know that if I tried to be a salesman, I could be a pretty good salesman. I know that if I wanted to manage a restaurant, I could do that. There's other things that I could do at a high level and make a decent amount of money. But at the end of the day, what do I love? Making music. That gives me joy, like genuine joy. And the thought of getting out of bed every day and going to a job where I don't want to be is honestly the worst feeling to me. But you also have to be realistic. So it's a balance of the two. And it's like Dale was talking about too, like he's found a way to take his artistry and kind of use other areas to do that, but also to, like he said, like, I like to produce other people's music. So he found another way to express that love for music in another outlet.
Yeah.
That's another option. Right? But if we're specifically talking about artists here, which I think most of you out there are, understand the work ethic, get unbiased opinions about what you're doing, and understand that it's not going to be what it's painted out to be in the media. It's not going to be what you see on TV. It's not going to be what you see on TikTok or whatever.
Victorious.
And also understand that a lot of the I'm sorry, I'm saying a lot here, I apologize, but like, social media is literally it's people's highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's people's highlights. They don't show them on the buses, between cities on tour, literally dying. Like they don't show any of that. Tours for most bands are the most exhausting thing.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot, and to stay on point, you're going to be tested. You're going to be stretched. Like, do I want to do this? Is this for me? And yeah, I mean, just as long as you come into it with that mindset, you come into it with like a cautious optimism, I think the path to success is there, and it's up to you. You get in you get out of it what you put in.
And with that, you listed out those things to expect or to not expect, and and requirements of doing this. And one other thing that's required for, I'd say, 98% of the people that want to be an artist is it requires some change, right? We've talked on this podcast a lot about like your public image, for instance, as an example of this, or your growth in music, right? The stuff, your very first song you've ever written is probably never going to see the light of day. It's probably never going to make any kind of commercial success. Why? It's your first. Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean you shouldn't write it. You should write it. You have to write it. But that's not what's going to be shown to the public. It's going to be your 10th, your 30th, your 50th, your 100th song, whatever that is. Those are going to be the songs that are actually worth anything because you've had practice to get there. You've changed to get that to that point where it's actually commercially viable, which is I think the word you used earlier, which really strikes the nail on the head for this. To be commercially successful, you are going to have to change some things about yourself, because it is a learning process. You're going to have to change how you present yourself to the public, because most people and a lot of artists that are big are pretty introverted. A lot of them get up there.
I was just about to say that if you're introverted in any way, this is tough. It's gonna be tough.
You like you said, this social media is highlights of all of this, and to be an artist and make a living doing it is a job. It is a full-time job. Oftentimes, it's not something you can just casually do on the side. 98% of the time.
I would argue that it's more than a full-time job, because I think about a full-time job. I work full-time, but I work my 8 hours. I go home.
True.
If you are, and that goes for any entrepreneur, but if you are doing music for a full-time career, you are working 24/7. Like, you are...
Your brand is your job.
Yes.
Your 8 hours might just be your performance where you're actually making the money, but all the other hours of the day might be getting you ready to be able to make money tomorrow, because the same song that was making money today is not guaranteed to do that tomorrow.
And if you're not ready for that, then like, you need to figure that out. Because for me, I took a minor in entrepreneurship, and like ultimately I'm like, okay, I think I would want my goal to be to own my own business, own my own design business. But there are other times where I'm like, okay, well, if I were to start now, I don't know if I have the drive right now to be willing to work myself for that long. And so you got to think about that. Like, am I ready to put in the work of, I'm going to be working constantly on my music? I don't know. So,
because I don't know how many times, even when you're sleeping, you're still creating. How many times have you woken up in the middle of the night and been like, I've got a song, I've got lyrics, I've got a melody, I've got a beat, whatever that is. Even when you're sleeping, your mind is still doing the work.
I mean, and it's that, and it's like, when you're not writing, you're in the studio. When you're not in the studio, you're touring. When you're not touring, the odds are you've got ad deals or something. You got video shoots.
Have you been enjoying Successfully Unsigned? Then check out all of our other content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and everywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget about our exclusive artist interviews and performances right here with Successfully Unsigned. Join us and like, comment, follow, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and tell us what your thoughts are about being an artist in the music industry.
So we're back from that technical delay there. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, I forgot what I was saying.
I have a question for you.
Please.
But interrupt whenever you remember what you were saying. So you went to a performing arts school.
Yeah.
Victorious. So do you, what are your experiences of, because I'm sure there were a lot of kids there who were like, I'm going to be a singer, I'm going to do this. And then I'm sure there were a decent amount of them who just kind of dropped out, or not dropped out, but just were like,
weren't
never
serious.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. What are your experiences with that? Like, what have you observed?
Yeah. So the school I went to, it wasn't just like music people. It was like dancers, actors, all of that. Mm-hmm. Especially, I'm going to use the dancing department as the kind of the standard. You could tell which people wanted to dance for the rest of their life and which people had no intention of doing so. And those, like, I will say one thing about dancers, they are so committed to what they do and they love it. Like, you see, I know TikTok is like huge with dancers right now. Like, you see it all over the place. And like, going to that school, like, there was a lot more dancers that actually are doing that, like, now. That's one thing I will say about that school is, like, academically not great. But as far as your craft, like, I learned so much about guitar, and they, like, all the things that we just mentioned about, like, the realism of it, they tell you all that too. They don't sugarcoat it at all. Good. But I'd say my department was the department of the least or the most people rather that just didn't pan out for music because they were just like, yeah, man, I'm going to go and play guitar. I'm going to play, like, learn a chord. And, like, no, dude, it's, like, more than just that. All right, it's building connections. That school was about building connections. If you walked out of that school and you didn't build connections, you were doing something wrong. And so, yeah, my experiences there were probably, I'd say, 70-30, like 70% actually did stuff with it and like are still doing it today, and it's at least
I feel like that's
somewhat
actually pretty good.
involved in their career, and then 30% didn't pan out.
That's more than I expected, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like
a
that's
high
pretty
school.
good.
Yeah, and like a lot of the people I play music with still are people that like I met in high school and like played with in high school and stuff. So, and they're playing like with bands on Broadway. They're on tour. They're like huge now. It's like there's a
Shout
girl.
out to that school.
You know,
wherever it was.
and there's something to say about making friends, building your network of the people that you work with in kind of your formative years of your craft, because those are the years when you're struggling more than any, because you're facing that uphill climb, right? That exponential growth happens, during that time when you're first starting out, because you're going from knowing nothing to being hopefully adequate or better or good, or you get that first 90% early on, and during that time you look for the people that are also doing that same thing, that are also in that same path, and those are the people that you're going to end up spending more time with later on, because you know what they've been through because you went through it with them. You know what they're capable of because you went through it with them. You know what they know because you went through it with them. And those are the people you can trust because of that. So, those friends, those colleagues, those musicians, bandmates, whatever that you make, that you become friends with early on, keep those people close.
You need that support and encouragement, especially through those years. So,
and if you have that closeness, that trust that you can get during that, especially during that time, you can trust that they're going to have a lot more of an unbiased opinion too. Because at some point you're out of school, you're out of a place, you can't go to professors anymore. You don't have that anymore, and so you have to find other people that can, and the people that you're close to and trust their opinion and value their opinion of, is who you turn to. Make sure they're good people. Yeah,
and I think like what's really sad is there are a lot of talented people out there that just don't have the work ethic. Yeah. Like I know so many talented people that can't afford water. Like they just don't have the ethic for it, and that's sad to me. So, surround yourself with people that are going to push you, and that will allow you to weed out what is for you and what is not for you.
And the thing that took me forever to kind of figure out is you don't have to be the best at your craft right now. You do not have to be the best right now.
You just have to be unique.
You have to be unique, but you have to have the work ethic to keep learning. That's the thing, because you might not be the best right now. You might not be the best in the room. You might not be the best in the state. You might not be the best in the country. It doesn't matter. But if you're willing to keep working, and you're willing to keep putting yourself out there, and you're willing to keep growing, then you're going to find people that want to help you and that you can help in return.
Yeah. Some of the most talented people I know are also some of the most like humble people I've ever met.
Yeah.
So,
who you surround yourself with really matters, but especially if you have that work ethic to match.
Yeah. Any other closing arguments, closing thoughts?
Just sit down and think about it. Go find a quiet place and, think about, is this life what you want?
Yeah.
Is that career path something you're willing to make sacrifices for?
Yeah.
Is something that you're going to stick with? Because if it's not, it's better to learn that early on.
Yeah. It's better to, I don't know, if you feel like your passion in life is music, but you also think that working at Geico gives you like the best chance to like raise a family and build a life for yourself, then that's a decision that you have to make.
Such a specific company.
I don't know.
And we don't say all this to try to dissuade you from chasing what is.
I do.
Because Patrick aside, David and I are both here, chasing our dream. We're both here in the act of trying to make this work and trying to make our livings doing this. So we're by no means trying to dissuade you from chasing that.
Yeah.
But what we are trying to do is warn you, or give you warnings that maybe we wish we would have had.
Yeah.
Or that we see other people failing to know about and falling in the pitfalls of, right? It's just knowing the cost of what you're about to get into.
Yeah.
That's really what this conversation is all about. Not saying don't do it,
Yeah.
but know the cost before you commit.
One last thing on this. I know we got to move on to the next topic, but I will say this. Do not listen to the subliminal messaging out there that you must have everything figured out by a certain time. That's everywhere. It's everywhere. Like, it could be about marriage or your career or whatever, okay? Everyone is on a different path. Now, if you're 45 and you're, it's not working, evaluate, right? But I'm talking mostly like people, late 20s, early 30s, maybe mid to late 30s. I don't know. Just don't let that scare you away. Because I know that was something that kind of hindered me for a while. It's like, well, I should be married right now. I should have a career right now. I should be making this amount of money right now. And I'm this age. Oh, no, I've failed. Not necessarily. I don't think that's true. And also keep in mind, we just had a worldwide pandemic as well, which kind of put a damper on a lot of people's ability to get out there and network and stuff. But yeah,
I would also add, like, if you are 45 or you're older and this is something that you had thought about back in the day and you're like, no, I need to do what's best for my career. Like, I'm not saying quit everything and go start your music. And it is going to be harder if you're older, much, much harder probably. But I do think it's worth, like, if for some reason you used to play in a band and you haven't picked up music in a really long time because you decided that wasn't the career move, that doesn't mean that you have to be done. Like, there are plenty of bands out there that are, with older people, and there are plenty of things that you can do on the side to help fulfill that need. If you are like David and you are like, I cannot live without music, and you have lived this long without doing it, like, I encourage you to pick it back up.
Yeah, because, I mean, again, what is the purpose of music? Why does everybody love music? It's because it allows us to have, an emotional escape. It allows us to have an emotional outlet. It allows us to literally just communicate with other people without having to speak words necessarily. I mean, there might be lyrics, but it's still different. Yeah. It's still different. And so music isn't locked into some age. Now, you do have to know, like, what you're getting into, what is the life that you're trying to lead, but it goes back to the question we asked earlier, what is your goal in music? Is your goal to have an outlet? Is your goal to have fun? Is your goal to make a living? Is your goal to have a big successful career? You have to take those into account, evaluate where you are, where you want to be with it. Because if all you want to do is play around town with bands and have fun, do it. Mm-hmm. By all means, do it. Doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. Mm-hmm. If that's all you want, do it. Because that's not, that's not this big lifestyle that we've been talking about and saying that there's so much cost for. There's still cost for that. You still have to pay your dues and your energy and your time and your effort. But it's not the same necessarily as going on the road for 8 weeks straight and never seeing hardly a real bed other than maybe a cheap hotel room and, poor gas station takeout food because everything else in town is closed by the time your gig is over every single night. It's not that, right? But you can still have fun. You can still enjoy life. You can still enjoy music without having to do that if that's what you want. You just have to know what you want. You have to decide what you want.
I would like to start a petition that we change our motto from professional advice from unprofessionals to, quote unquote, do it by the Spice Girls.
Wait, what did you say the motto was?
Do it by the Spice Girls.
We said, I thought you said unprofessional advice from
professionals. No, you did. I did? I thought I said professional advice.
I don't know. We'll find out in post.
Okay.
But all that to be said,
do it.
If you love music, have fun.
Do it.
And I would say do it by, what's his name?
The Spice Girls.
No.
The Spice Girls. If you can't think of who the other one is, then Spice
Lord
Girls.
Sidious.
Just do it.
You're thinking of Shia LaBeouf.
I was thinking of Shia LaBeouf, but Lord Sidious is right too.
No.
Do it.
Spice Girls.
Do it. Y'all seen that meme where he's like holding up a Mountain Dew and he's like, do it.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that
I think
meme.
I showed you that.
I love it.
Okay, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about some recent music news, and it's going to get a little controversial.
Oh, rallies. Yum.
Oh,
that's
Red Robin's.
Robin.
You're an idiot. You didn't even sing O'Reilly right.
Have you been enjoying Successfully Unsigned? Then check out all of our other content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and everywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget about our exclusive artist interviews and performances right here with Successfully Unsigned. Join us and like, comment, follow, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and tell us what your thoughts are about being an artist in the music industry.
Welcome back. Oh, I guess I did it kind of loud. Sorry. So we're going to talk about some recent music news. Oh my gosh, you just knocked down Trina and Tori.
I think you did.
She wants to sing again.
You're gay. You're gay.
Yeah.
When I make it shine. Make it shine. That's the motto of this podcast.
Oh no.
I don't think it is.
You don't have to be afraid to put your dreams in action.
Oh.
You're never gonna fade. You'll be the main attraction. Actually,
I know I'm
you
the main
won't be.
attraction.
You will not
Ooh.
be. You will not be. Okay. So
I'm sorry. What's good?
Do you need to go to the hospital again? Is this
He's
another
having a
issue?
stroke.
Stop. Okay. Music news. So I'm sure you all have heard about Miss Lizzo. Do you have like a dun, 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 or anything?
That's all I got right now.
Not sure if that's the one.
Well, I got this one. I got this one.
Ooh.
That
No,
is
explain the situation now.
okay. So on August 4th,
Faster.
2018.
Are you having a stroke?
Wait, it's not 2018. It's 2023. On August something 2023, Lizzo. It came out that Lizzo is being sued by her former backup dancers because she called them a bunch of fatties, and it's like, girl, pot calling the kettle black. Hey, I can say that I'm fat. Okay.
What?
Anyway, I am legally obese, so
He brought
don't
out the
come at
L
me.
word legally.
Oh
I
my
am.
gosh, both of y'all saying the L words. tonight.
Y'all cannot say anything though because you're not fat, so leave it to me.
You literally,
Bro.
you on every Instagram post I make, you always like, why your belly out? Why your big old fat belly out? You literally called me fatty like 2 days ago.
When?
Monday.
Y'all both just deep throated a pizza. I mean, it's.
Oh, we need to cut that.
It's a joke. Oh my gosh.
I can't.
We're all tired here. I'm sorry.
Anyway, look, your belly was sticking out, so
yeah,
that's
but you
your
over
fault.
here calling me fatty for it.
I wasn't calling you fat
Apologize.
for it. I was saying that your belly, like your physical belly, not like your belly is like out because you're fat. Your belly is out because you let your shirt right up till literally it's a crop
But my
top.
hands was like, it was not a crop top. A crop top way up here. My hand was here. My belly was here.
I'm just saying.
Why you looking?
Anyway, it was out in the open for everyone to see. It was literally in the middle of the picture.
It was the last photo. Why you scrolling?
You don't want me to scroll on your posts? Anyway.
Also, I think that like every episode now, we should do the dramatic music and make
That was
somebody
good.
like
That was really
narrate
enjoyable.
something.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. It was a lot of pressure, though. I thought it was 2018.
Under pressure.
Okay. So I would like to redact my joke because I really don't want to offend anyone. Look, here's the thing. I
They're
am
adults.
because I realized I was saying it about a woman, and like being a fat woman versus being a fat man are two very different things. And so all jokes aside, like I don't want to, send any hate or anything, but it is kind of, I'm not gonna lie, the memes are pretty funny, okay? The memes are pretty funny.
But the memes are good.
So, okay. So yes, Lizzo is being sued by a bunch of former dancers, backup dancers, because she would allegedly, basically like make comments on their weight. She made it a very like toxic work environment. There's also some like sexual harassment charges.
Some pretty major
So
ones.
yeah, like some really gross stuff that I don't remember enough to keep up with that.
I thought you were gonna explain the banana thing next.
Oh,
No, I don't even really know what it is, and I ain't going to get into it. But
I can look it up.
yeah. You can Google what's all going on.
Or
But there was
not.
someone else who came out and was like, "Oh, I was making a documentary about Lizzo back in 2019, and I quit mid-project because she was just so nasty."
It was a female producer or director or something like that. Yeah.
And so it's a really big deal because Lizzo, who is a fat black woman, I'm not using fat in a negative term. Fat is not a negative term, people. Anyway, fatty.
Did y'all just hear this, man?
People are so confused.
Did
at
y'all
home right
just
now.
hear this,
They're
man?
So
To quote Demi Lovato, "Hey fatty, hey fatty."
From what?
I don't know, some random internet video.
Anyways,
But she is a plus size woman who has all of her, like, a lot of her music is about being like, I am comfortable in my body, like, I don't care, and like, I love myself, which it has been amazing. Like, it has been uplifting for me, who is I do not have the experience that a fat woman goes through, that a fat black woman goes through. And so that is it for her music to like translate. Have you guys ever really listened to any of Lizzo's songs?
no, I know she plays the flute pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah, I have heard about that. Yeah.
Y'all should actually. Well, now it's kind of like, shouldn't I don't know. Separate the art and the artist. That's a whole different conversation.
John Mayer.
Yeah, exactly. So,
You're gay. You're gay.
sorry, John Mayer. But I don't know. Her music is very uplifting. It's just like, it just makes you feel really good. It makes you feel like you can conquer the world. And so a lot of people were very obviously upset because it'd be upsetting to hear about any artist making a hostile work environment for their backup dancers. But on top of that, to bring in negative, comments about their weight, especially in 2023, it's like, seriously. And then on top of that, it's coming from this woman who has like marketed her whole brand to be self-love and not care if I'm big or what my body looks like. And the thing is that Lizzo is healthy. Like, she is constantly dancing. She is like, if someone like wants to say or something of like, if you watch her show, she is moving so much. Like, she works out, but she's just a bigger woman. And so it's like, okay, like, here's an example where it's not like she's just like constantly just shoving cake down her throat or something, but it is just very disheartening to see. And it's like, oh, when I hear her music, I'm just kind of like, well, now I don't necessarily believe you, because you're coming here to tell all of your fans that love yourself, do this, but then you're turning around and making fun of your dancers who are probably dancing actually more than you and are at the very least extremely active, because you have to be as a dancer.
Isn't this all part of like a TV show that they're doing? Like
What?
she's doing?
I don't
she
know.
doing like a show with it?
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. It's like a reality show where Lizzo takes like all these women that are on the heavier side and they compete to like be the dancer or whatever.
I think the ones that are suing her are just from her touring crew.
That's what it sounds like.
Because it was people that toured with her for some time
Yeah.
and put up with it for some time.
Right.
But then we're like, no.
Yeah.
But also, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Just be careful if you're going to establish a brand image for yourself. Be sure that you back that up.
Yes.
Personas are a thing. Personas are a thing, and that's okay, right? Your public persona doesn't have to necessarily be a perfect match for who you are. But if you're going to bring any kind of morality standards on board to your public image, that should match up with who you are.
Yeah.
You shouldn't
Yes.
try to make some kind of moral or political or religious statement about who you are and then your lifestyle be the complete opposite.
Yes.
Right?
I remember what I was going to say. There was a song that she did called Rumors with Cardi B, and now people are pointing that out because she's like, all the rumors are true, yeah, in the song, which is obviously like a very tongue-in-cheek song, but then she also talks about how signed an NDA, no loose lips, or something like that. Or she mentions an NDA, and it's like, was this actually true? Was she literally like showing us through our face, like, here's what's going on, and I don't care? I don't know. It's probably not that deep, but it's just very interesting. And like I said, the memes are really funny. The whole thing with the flute. Do you guys know about the whole Colleen Ballinger apology video?
No.
I could do a whole episode on that. But basically, there's a YouTuber, Colleen Ballinger. You guys know who Miranda Sings is, though, right?
Yeah,
No.
I do.
Yes, you do. Hey, guys, it's Miranda.
Yeah, she's the.
Lipstick.
Yeah. She's like the female friend.
I can't with homeschoolers. I'm sorry. If you're homeschooled, I'm sorry. I just can't with you sometimes. Actually, no. Homeschoolers probably love Miranda Sings. Or I'm
Probably.
sure there are a bunch that do. Anyway, but she has been this YouTuber for like 10, 15 years. Well, a few years ago, some guy had exposed her. She was like talking about sexual situations with him when he was like pretty young. And then it just kind of like got swept under the rug, and then it came back again recently, and more stuff came out, and she did not talk about it for 2 weeks. Like, she was radio silence for 2 weeks, and she comes back and does an apology video that's 10 minutes long of her playing the ukulele. This man literally had zero reaction to that.
Well, I'm trying to see who she is. I'm looking her up.
Yes. You've never seen her?
Does she even play the ukulele?
Yes, she has. But I mean, it's also like the same chords that are super easy that everyone does.
I mean, she doesn't like.
She doesn't look familiar at all.
I mean, maybe,
Okay.
but not enough for me to be like. Like, I know I've seen this picture, but I think that's probably just from
Yeah,
memes.
That's the phase.
But like the rest of this,
Either way, man, I can't. 10 minutes of her playing the ukulele, doing an apology video, which she wasn't really apologizing, but it's kind of a banger. She ended up putting a minute of it on Spotify so that she could copyright it every time someone made a meme on it. It's a wild situation. Look it up. I'm sure you guys already know about it. But then people were like making memes from that into Lizzo of her, like, they'd like show a video of her playing the flute and they'd be like, Lizzo's apology video. As far as I know, she hasn't said anything. I'll be honest, y'all, we did not do any research on this.
we just started talking.
Unprofessional advice.
It's three guys with some mics saying we have a podcast right here.
Goodness, I know. I literally made a fat joke, and I am fitting into the misogynist
This is
stereotype.
the
Oh my
I promise
gosh.
I am not. Like I said,
I think our viewers are mature enough to distinguish, but they don't actually.
David,
think.
have you ever spent a day on the internet?
Yes, and I'm not afraid of it.
You must be new here.
I'm saying, like, I think our viewers can distinguish what's like a joke and what's.
Yes.
They don't actually think you believe that.
Yeah.
Clearly,
I love
you don't.
I loved Lizzo. Like, I seriously would actively listen to her, and so it does make me disappointed. It's one of those things where it's like, obviously, don't put too much trust in celebrities, because they're 99% of the time gonna let you down, because they're a celebrity, they're human, we put them on pedestals, but at the same, and like, they're in a position of power, so it's bound to happen. But it is just kind of like a huge slap in the face to. It'd be one thing if it was like, oh, Lizzo like made this one bad decision and it's just kind of like separate. No, she like literally went against her entire brand
For a while.
and and has like created this terrible, like done the exact opposite of what she has made her goal. And so it's just really disheartening, and I'm interested to see if she does say anything on it and kind of what happens from here. I don't think anyone's truly cancelable. So I'm sure she'll still be able to make music and be fine, but it is just definitely sad.
I mean, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks and months with the court cases. I mean, none of it has been necessarily seen before a court of law, and it is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So there is that to be said. I mean, right now the things that have come out seem fairly overwhelmingly against her.
Yeah.
But that being said, we're also 3 guys on a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, hundreds of miles away from where this is happening. So take that with a grain of salt.
Lizzo, I would just like to say, truth hurts. That's one of her songs.
Nice reference.
That's good.
Yeah. You should be on a podcast. You ever thought about it?
He'd be good. He'd be really good.
Well, thank y'all for hanging out with us.
Oh, this is so chaotic.
This is quite the episode.
Great.
Go watch Victorious and don't listen to Lizzo.
But listen to us.
Listen
Listen to us, yes. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, please TikTok. Facebook too, please. Oh my goodness, we need more followers on
Facebook.
there.
Come on, boomers. We need you. Need you to come through for us.
Okay, all at Successfully Unsigned for the most part. I think podcasts, or I think TikTok is like SU podcast or something. Unsigned podcast.
Unsigned podcast.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.